I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk to folks from the VTuber community about their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Joining us on this show is Grimly Kuro. Hi!
Hello.
And thanks for coming on. Introduce yourself to everybody.
I am Grimly Kuro. I am a VTuber. I play a variety of different games, but I usually end up getting stuck to playing two of the same game that I usually play.
Now, I gotta be absolutely honest with everybody. I watched Kuro play uh, play one of the Pokemon games last night, and
Yep.
he was looking for the shiny penguin-like Pokemon, and he informed me today you're still looking for that shiny penguin Pokemon.
Yes, after 9 hours, 263 attempts, I still have not gotten it. But hopefully, either tonight or tomorrow, I most likely will,
Well,
until I get it.
if not, maybe they'll sponsor you. Get a sponsor going, and it'll be something like every week. Once,
Oh, I would hope so.
I mean that could be a real good gimmick for you to sell.
No, yeah, 100%.
Marketing is the key. How long?
Oh,
Go
I
ahead.
wish I knew about marketing.
Oh well, no, you don't. I was
No,
in radio
no.
for a long time. You don't really want to know about marketing, believe me.
It's okay. I have a beautiful manager that takes care of it, so I'll be okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we talked with Hema Bunny the last interview. That's up on the site too. Uh, and let me tell you, you chose well there. Actually, she chose you, so you're lucky.
Yeah, yeah. I can say for sure I lucked out. Like I to be fair, I didn't originally want a relationship when we first met. It was more of like, oh look, a new friend and a new friend that's also a VTuber. So I was like, cool, awesome. And now she's my fiance. So now I'm stuck with her regardless.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, if I ask her, will she say the same thing about being stuck, or is it going to be she's stuck with you?
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
I know where you're coming from. I know where you're coming from. The only thing we can do as guys is just enjoy the ride at this point.
Nope. All I say is yes, and that's the most I can do.
That's the best thing to. That's the best way to handle it. How long have you been VTubing?
I only started VTubing recently, as in barely like a year, give or take.
Well,
I'm getting pretty close to my year anniversary for streaming full on after getting affiliate.
hmm
I did stream prior to that, but it was very irrational. Very, oh, here's a stream once a month or like once every 2 months. So it was very non-consistent. Uh, it wasn't until I started actually wanting to do more VTubing that I started making it more consistent. Don't get me wrong, I have my times where I go like 2 weeks and I don't stream, and that is my fault entirely because I get lazy.
well,
But I do enjoy it. I do love it. I love the feel of it. I guess I can say it's nice.
yeah. Being able to talk with people and entertain people all around the world is pretty amazing. In no matter
Hmm.
how you're doing it.
Hmm.
And how so once you got started, and what made you get started? I mean, that's not something you just wake up and say, "I'm going to go see if I can be a VTuber." What made you decide to do it?
See, okay, so I've always wanted to stream in general, and I'm not a person that's too fond with being a streamer that shows their face all the time and a webcam.
hmm
So I was usually just having gameplay all the time, and that's usually what it was. It was just a gameplay and a voice. And it wasn't until I met Hemo that she actually recommended and said, "Hey, why don't you do VTubing? You can add a character to it and give the people something to or someone to be able to interact with and give them a face to the voice." And I thought about it and I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. That's it's nice.
Yeah, it does give you that little barrier. You can still be
Hmm.
you, but you can still not be you.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
it's a mixture of both.
So what made you choose Kuro?
Well, to be fair, originally I wanted to go into a more what's the terminology, like a hunter based uh character.
Right.
Uh, I don't know if you've ever played the Bloodborne series,
No, I
but
have
like
not.
one of those characters.
No.
They're basically just hunters. That's basically the majority of what they are.
Right.
But Hemo actually, to be fair, like I said, Hemo's the one that helped me with a lot of this. She recommended me. She said, "Hey, why don't you just go with the Grim Reaper route? You have already the aesthetic of wearing all black, long hair. You look like you don't want to be here half the time, so make yourself something that's not human."
Now
So
there's a compliment for you.
yeah, so I was like, you know what? That works. I get that. I low key thought about it, and I thought about it for a couple days. It wasn't just like a one day to another. It was a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll do it. I actually think that's kind of cool. It fits in the same perspective too, of being kind of like a hunter in a perspective, but it's not hunting things that are alive. It's going after the dead and the ones that need to be moved
Yeah.
to where they're respectively going.
Move along, move along. Next stop's coming
Exactly.
up. As far as what you do on the streams, we know that you're working on the Pokemon game right now. But what else do you like to stream?
I play a lot, and I mean an absolute lot of Valorant, and I play a lot of Apex. Valorant, I'm not good at. I'm mostly because that's on the PC itself, and mouse and keyboard I still can't get it. Some days I have my good days, and some days I don't.
Hmm.
But then I do play Apex a lot, and I love Apex. If I can say genuinely, it's one of those games that I have dedicated a little too much time into to be healthy.
Yeah, it is the Apex. Now, people out there who maybe just have a console game that they've hooked up to the television at home, or have watched other people play, they might not know the concept of how tough it is to play a game where you have to move around a lot with the keyboard and mouse. Um,
Hmm.
I have an extra hard time with it because I'm kind of cross-handed, where I do some things
Hmm.
left-handed and some things right-handed. So if I did that on the keyboard, sometimes I actually have to form an X with my hands in order to do it correctly. What is the difference for you? Is it just a matter of comfort, or is it a matter of you're left-handed as opposed to right-handed?
For me, I think it's comfort because all my life, I was always a console kid. I've
Hmm.
always had consoles. I had, from the original GameCube, I've had, everything is basically console. So I'm used to grabbing a controller.
Hmm.
Once I ended up switching to uh, PC and on the computer and stuff like that, I've realized that I am so limited on a controller compared to a PC. But because I am so wired to wanting to use a controller for most things, that my hands just don't want to move where I'm supposed to, or they move way too far than they're supposed to.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I for a lot of things I have to do right-handed as opposed to left-handed. And when you see a keyboard's commands for moving around, it's usually like WASD on the keyboard.
Hmm.
Well, I can't do that with my left hand, and in order for it to do it with my right hand, I have to use the mouse with my left hand. But in order to do that, but the mouse is on the right side of the keyboard, so I have
Oh,
to
okay.
remap the keys every time, and that doesn't always work either. Um,
Yeah.
so that does create a problem of comfort, but th- there's so many controllers now that have so many buttons. Is that really a problem for you?
I can say yes because I do have a controller that has buttons on the back, but
Uh-huh.
to be fair, they're usually already coded into what inputs they do. Yes, I can change it, but I've already got used to what they do, so it's kind of pointless to code it to something else
Yeah.
entirely.
See,
So, I mean, it's not bad, but it can be. It's still difficult.
you're talking to a guy whose first game was Pong. I was there when it came out, so we didn't even have buttons. We just had the turn knob. So so
Oh,
we
I'll be fair. I'll be fair. I've played Pong. I played it. My grandpa had it.
yeah.
The fact that it still worked is crazy, but he
Oh
had
yeah.
it.
I mean, there's not much to it. I mean, there's more there's more computer power in your shoes probably than there is in that particular game. But I bet you, I do bet this, that if you put out a took some of the top gamers online and put them in a Pong tournament, they wouldn't have any idea what to do with it.
Oh, 100%.
They
100%.
like, would I just put the pad in front of the? Yes, that's all you do, and they'd lose. They wouldn't be able to do anything. They're not shooting anything. They're not trying to do six things at once. Maybe that's the only way that old age and treachery can win in this sort of thing.
Go back to the original.
We'll get the Pong going because I can't keep up with these games like you're playing the Apex and the Valorant. It does require a lot of fast twitch and a lot of the ability to see what's going on ahead of you, as well as planning to go along with the storyline, I imagine.
hmm it does. It does. To be fair, I think the one main thing about them is the reflexes.
Hmm.
And I'll be fair. When I was younger, my reflexes were on point. I had scary reflexes.
Hmm.
Now that I'm 26, I don't have them as fast as I used to, you know?
At least you have some. My reflexes are scary too, but that's because they don't work.
Well, you know what? That's understandable though.
There's the different types of scary there as far as that goes.
Yeah.
Well, what type of games would you like to try in the future on your channel?
And to be fair, I there's a bunch of games that I have downloaded that I just haven't played or haven't uh given myself the time to play it. Because every time I stream, it's either I play something that I've been wanting to play for a little bit, like for the example, the Pokemon,
Right.
or I get friends that go, "Hey, let's play Valorant today," or "Hey, let's play Apex today," or "Hey, let's play this today," and I'm like, "Okay, cool," and I'll just stream it, and then that's what ends up happening. Um,
You're easy
to
to
be fair,
convince. You're easy to convince. And that goes,
kind of.
yeah, okay, that's fine.
Kind of. Kind of. I have to reply back for them to convince me because I'm very bad at replying. Like they'll message me and I won't reply till 2 days later.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, what games do you have sitting in the queue?
okay. So I have Resident Evil 2, the remake for it.
Right.
I did play the original when I was young, so I do know like the basis of it, but I want to play the newer version of it.
Right.
I have Near Replicant, which is a prequel to another game that I played. I didn't get to stream that other game because I got lazy and I just decided to play it instead.
Well, you
And I
decided
love
to
it.
you decided to just enjoy it rather than
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
There's
yes, yes.
people do that all the
Which
time.
which I feel like I shouldn't have because I enjoyed it and I wish I really did stream it when I had the chance to, but like now there's no point because I beat it. I have, I've gone through the whole thing 100%. There's just nothing that I could do that would be like, oh my God, this is awesome. It's
Right.
just me going through the game again.
Right. Any others you got set up you want to go?
Um, to be fair, as of right now, I think the only other thing that I want to do is I want to eventually, when they decide to release the DLC for it, I want to stream Elden Ring
Hmm.
and go through all that with a whole new character and then go into the DLC with it because the DLC has like a lot of stuff that you can add to it. But
Right.
that's eventually that's way further down.
Well,
That's whenever it gets released.
yeah. In the meantime, you've still got to catch a penguin.
Yeah, I know. I know I do. That the worst part is that I chose the one of the hardest games to do a shiny only challenge for it.
Yeah.
Uh
Well,
because of the
yeah,
fact that
we
that
really haven't
cutscene.
mentioned which game you're playing yet. I just said the Pokemon game.
Yeah.
So which one is it that you're
Uh,
on?
I'm currently going through Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Mm-hmm.
It's a remake of the original Diamond and Pearl.
Mm-hmm. And you're doing a shiny challenge where you're only taking the shiny Pokemon.
Yes. So all I'm doing basically is I am catching 6 Pokemon, and those 6 Pokemon are the only Pokemon I'm going to use, and all of them have to be shiny. And what makes it hard is that I'm not using the special catching method that increases the shiny rate. I'm not using the Masudo method, which is a breeding method
Mm,
with eggs.
right.
I'm just basically catching them if they appear. And for a game that has a rate of 1 out of 4,096, I'm gonna be here a while.
Right
And
now
I'm
you
still on my first Pokemon.
right now you're trying to open a suitcase and hope it's in the suitcase.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. And then you don't even know until the next battle starts.
Yes, you cannot tell until the cutscene's over and the battle starts, and once the Pokemon flies out is when you can tell.
Uh, so when that happens, and eventually the laws of nature and the laws of mathematics say it will happen eventually,
Hmm.
what are we going to hear? Are you just going to scream? Are you going to faint?
I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be exhausted. Like I said last night to my chat and my viewers. They can't tell, but I'm screaming internally for how long this is taking already.
Oh, I could tell a little bit. I could hear a voice in the background every once in a while escaping out your ears. I can fully go with that because some of the games I played earlier on for the PC, there were situations where you could get a certain item or you could get a certain thing that would help you in your quest, but it only happens once every so often. So you turn it off, turn it back on, and turn that off, turn it back on until you get the item. And then I learned
Hmm.
cheat codes, so then I didn't have to do that anymore.
See, the thing is with this Pokemon game, there is a quote unquote hacked version. It's a community made I guess I can say file for the game
Hmm.
that you can play online, where instead of it being the full odds, the 1 out of 4,000,
Yeah,
it's halved
yeah.
instead. So it makes things easier. But I didn't want to do that because I felt like that was too easy. So I gave myself the full challenge of the
Is
actual thing I'm supposed to do.
is 1 out of 2,000 is still too easy?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, once you get to a certain point in the game, you do get like a companion,
Hmm.
and it makes it easier to hunt certain Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, I my hats off to you for making it as tough on yourself as possible. It's not quite a Nuzlocke, but it may actually be tougher than a Nuzlocke.
To be fair, the original challenge is that it is supposed to be a Nuzlocke, which makes it even harder because, like I said, you only get those 6 Pokemon, and if they're gone, they're gone. You don't get to, eventually increase your team. I didn't feel like giving myself an aneurysm, so I decided to just go with the shiny part instead.
You just have the heart monitors hooked up for you for this, as far as that's concerned.
Yup.
Well, I mean, I wish you the best, and that's certainly gonna that certainly makes it a little tougher.
Yes. Yes,
that
it does.
it's gonna be a while, and once you do get this particular starter as the startup as shiny, you still got to catch 5 more
Hmm.
after that. So you're just barely in the weeds here.
Yep, I haven't even played the game technically.
So folks can check out the channel and find this is going to be a weekly thing. I think you should get a hold of the Pokemon people and have them sponsor you. I
I
really
would
do
love
think that
to.
would
I
work.
would love to.
I think that they'd say just just check out Kuro every week and see whether he finally does get another shiny. it
By all
re-
means. I mean, to be fair, I do plan, after completing this one on this certain game, I do, and I hate to admit it, I do plan on doing another one on a different game,
oh
the
my.
exact same rules and everything, but hopefully it doesn't take as long.
And you're a better man than I am because if I ever completed that game, I'd be burning it. To take it out of my hands because it's going to be on fire soon. I'm not touching it ever again. Um,
Oh yeah, I had that feeling last night. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
oh, I could tell it was starting to build up. As far as goals for yourself for this year, have you got anything set for yourself as far as the channel goes, other than continuing to play these
Uh,
games?
well, to be fair, I think the main goal is that I want to just, for now, increase my community, just make my community bigger. Because the community that I have now, I love all of them. I love every single person that jumps on streams. I love every single person that has just stopped by to say hi and just, for a split second, all the friends that have helped me. I think I want to make, I think my goal for the end of this year is to just have a bigger community, just a bigger group of people that want to play games and want to just chill with me,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
It absolutely does. How about collaboration? You said you play with other folks. Do you have a group that you
Yes.
usually collaborate with, or have you waded into the waters of trying to find other people to collaborate with you?
I'll be fair. I have the same like 4 people that I usually play with.
Mhm.
All of them being VTubers, and some of them, well, most of them being VTubers, and some of them just being friends that
Right.
are just streaming without the VTubing. Uh, I do I do love when I get to play with other VTubers and other streamers that I've never played with before because the interactions get so much nicer. I get to meet new people, and it's a very nice experience to meet new friends.
It certainly is, and it does put you out there a little bit, though,
Hmm.
because you don't know exactly what they're going to bring to the channel, and sometimes you could be with the best intentions, and it just doesn't fit.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
nothing
mean,
against either one of you, but sometimes it just doesn't match up.
yeah. No, and sometimes it just depends on the person. Sometimes you have a friend, and sometimes you have an acquaintance. It just whichever decides to happen.
And sometimes you have an enemy. We try not to get as many of those as
Yes.
possible. And, and if they are, at least make them good at the game
It's
you're playing.
Yeah, I mean it's bound to happen. The VTubing community is a special community. Sometimes you have really good friends, and sometimes you have people that just don't like you because you're you.
And
So
sometimes you meet the person who you end up being engaged to.
yeah, that one was crazy for me. I'll be honest.
She's
That one was
listening.
not expected.
She's listening, folks.
Uh,
So we can jab a little bit, but not too much. Uh,
yeah, it's okay.
hey, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I hope this year is the best for you and for chemo. I thank you both for coming on. It means a lot to this old man for folks to come on and talk to them a little bit. I hope everything goes great for you. I hope you find that freaking penguin soon.
So do I. I don't want to spend too much time on it.
Yeah, I wish you the best for the rest of the time. Thanks for coming on. Maybe we'll get you on again here pretty soon. Okay.
Yeah, anytime. I actually kind of I'll be fair. I'm not a person that's fun usually with interviews because I get nervous, but I like this. This is fun.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.